He jumped so hard, his shoe exploded and nearly tore his knee apart.
Zion went down, looked like he hyperextended his leg. He is down, slipped.
4 years later, his body was fine, but he refused to play. I don't feel like Zion. From freak of nature to mental collapse, to understand how it got this bad, we need to rewind. It all started in 2016. Zion Williamson was just 16 years old, but already built like a linebacker. 6'6", 275 pounds. And somehow, he moved like a point guard. He didn't just dunk, he detonated. Windmills, 360s, tomahawks off the glass, in high school gyms that looked like they might collapse. He once jumped from just inside the free throw line and shattered a backboard. His mixtapes went viral. Crowds lined up around the block. Drake posted his high school jersey on Instagram. Even President Obama came to watch him live. He was a walking highlight reel, but also a model of efficiency. Zion shot nearly 72% from the field his senior year. Not just a dunker, a dominant, polished force. By 2018, he committed to Duke. And in his very first college game, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists in just 23 minutes. He averaged 22.6 points, 8.9 boards, and shot 68% from the field. He had an NBA body, an NCAA cheat code, and global buzz. Then came February 20th, 2019. Duke versus UNC, the biggest rivalry in college hoops. 33 seconds in, Zion plants his foot. His shoe explodes. He crashes to the floor, clutching his knee. The crowd gasps. Obama mouths, his shoe broke. It was just a sprain. But the question started to swirl, is his body too powerful for basketball? In 2019, Zion was drafted #1 overall by the New Orleans Pelicans. He wasn't just a player, he was a savior. Before he ever touched an NBA court, he inked a $75 million deal with Jordan Brand, the biggest rookie shoe contract in a decade. Gatorade, Mountain Dew, NBA 2K Panini. Zion became a marketing machine overnight. ESPN ranked him the most marketable rookie since LeBron. He had his own signature shoe before playing 10 NBA games. He was the most hyped prospect since LeBron, and brands bet everything on his superstardom. By the time his rookie season was set to begin, he was worth over $100 million on paper. The Pelicans sold out their season tickets for the first time in years. NBA ratings jumped anytime he was scheduled to play. Then, it happened again. A torn meniscus. He missed the first 44 games of his rookie year. And when he finally returned in January 2020, he was limited to just 18 minutes. But even in those 18 minutes, he scored 22 points. The hype hadn't been wrong. In his first 19 games, Zion averaged 23.6 points, 6.8 rebounds, on 58% shooting. He looked like the real deal. And in year 2, he was even better. 27 points, 7.2 rebounds, 61% from the field. He made the All-Star team, became the youngest player since LeBron to average 25-plus points per game on 60% shooting. Franchise player, no questions asked. He even became the 4th youngest All-Star starter in NBA history. But the more he soared, the more his body started breaking down, and the cracks were just beginning to show. By the start of the 2021 to 2022 season, Zion's injuries had started to pile up. First, it was toe soreness, then a hamstring tweak, then lingering knee swelling that wouldn't go away, and then devastation. He fractured his right foot during an off-season workout in the summer of 2021, but the Pelicans said nothing. No press release, no medical update, just silence. Weeks turned into months before the public even knew what had happened. Zion stayed completely quiet. No interviews, no media sessions, no rehab footage. And when he finally showed up courtside in December, he looked massive. Reports claimed he'd ballooned to over 320 pounds. Photos leaked online. Fans joked he looked like a defensive lineman. Others didn't joke at all. Even NBA legends got involved. Charles Barkley and Shaq roasted him live on Inside the NBA. Shaq said, "If we had that body, we'd never stop playing." Barkley added, "He looked like me and Shaq had a baby." The internet was ruthless. But the worst part? Zion never played a single game that season. There was no official recovery timeline, no concrete update, just cryptic Instagram stories, and complete radio silence from the Pelicans front office. His own trainer later admitted Zion wasn't mentally ready. Then the rumors exploded. Some said he didn't trust the Pelicans' medical staff. Others claimed he ghosted the team during rehab. Insiders hinted he wanted out of New Orleans entirely. And even after being medically cleared for months, Zion still didn't return. He wasn't injured anymore, but he still wasn't Zion. Then, just when the noise was loudest, Zion came back. In the 2022-23 season, he was dominant again. December 1st, 33 points versus Toronto. December 3rd, 35 against the Spurs. December 7th, a 29-point, 10-rebound, double-double in just 31 minutes. December 9th, he windmilled at the buzzer against Phoenix, up double digits. Some called it disrespectful. Zion said, "That was for the city." He was playing with power, poise, and purpose, Euro-stepping through traffic, bullying defenders under the rim, finishing through contact like a freight train, and making it look easy. At his peak, 26 points per game, 7 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 1.1 steals, 60% from the field. He even led the league in points in the paint per game, surpassing Giannis. He became the first player since Shaq to average over 25 points on 60% shooting through 25-plus games. The Pelicans were first in the Western Conference. They went 23-13 with Zion on the floor, and Zion wasn't just putting up numbers. He was leading, calling plays, talking on defense, diving for loose balls. He looked like an MVP candidate. Everything was clicking. He was finally delivering on the promise. Then, boom. January 2nd, 2023. Hamstring injury. Again. They said he'd miss a few weeks, but weeks became months. No All-Star game, no March comeback, no playoffs. He was dunking in warm-ups, running full-court drills in practice. The cameras caught it all. But still, he sat. And when it mattered most, he wasn't there. In April 2023, the Pelicans were facing the Thunder in the play-in. Zion was on the court, but only for warm-ups. He was dunking, drilling jumpers, moving like he was ready to dominate. Then came the question, why wasn't he playing? Zion's answer stunned everyone. "Physically, I'm fine, but I'm not going to be out there until I feel like Zion." Fans were livid. They felt betrayed. Stephen A. Smith ripped him on national TV.
Social media is buzzing over the apparent weight loss transformation that's happened with Pelican superstar Zion Williamson.
Even his teammates looked lost, because this wasn't injury, this wasn't rehab. Zion was windmilling in layup lines and then sitting out in a must-win game. The internet exploded. Memes, hot takes. One tweet said, "Bro thinks he's Batman, waiting for the right vibe to save Gotham." It went viral. Pelicans coach Willie Green said they needed him. Brandon Ingram looked frustrated. CJ McCollum, silent. And behind the scenes, whispers spread. Did Zion quit on his team? Was he scared to get hurt? Or worse, was he mentally checked out? Some insiders claimed he was cleared weeks earlier, but refused to suit up without full confidence. Even NBA analysts were confused. JJ Redick, a former teammate, called it a lack of leadership. Others said it was unprecedented, a player healthy enough to dunk, but not to compete. Zion was even spotted laughing on the bench during the loss, a moment that went viral for all the wrong reasons. It wasn't physical anymore, it was psychological. The Pelicans lost, season over, and Zion's legacy took a massive hit, not just for missing the game, but for everything it said about where his head was. But Zion's problems were just getting started. In June 2023, he went viral again, for all the wrong reasons. An adult film star began posting screenshots, videos, and explosive accusations. She claimed she was pregnant with his child, said he was paying her monthly, threatened to release private tapes if he didn't respond. The scandal dominated headlines. Dr. Zion was trending worldwide, but not for basketball, not for dunks, not for comeback stories, but for drama, chaos, and embarrassment. Other women came forward too, alleging messages, money, and messy relationships. One claimed Zion promised her a condo in New Orleans. Another said she had receipts going back over a year. It snowballed fast. Zion didn't respond publicly. The Pelicans stayed quiet, and the NBA watched in stunned silence. Even Skip Bayless said, "This kid's career is in danger, and not just because of injuries." ESPN shows debated whether Zion needed a new team or a new circle around him. Shannon Sharpe called it a red flag spiral. Meanwhile, Zion still hadn't played a full season. Not one. Not even close. By the end of the 2023-24 campaign, he had missed over 60% of all possible games since being drafted. A total of 194 missed games in 4 seasons, and his off-court chaos was starting to feel louder than his highlights. Some fans turned on him, others held out hope, but everyone had the same question. Was this the biggest wasted talent since Greg Oden? Then came the comeback. In the 2024-25 season, Zion returned lighter, leaner, and more focused. Reports said he dropped nearly 25 pounds during the offseason, thanks to a revamped diet, 2-a-day workouts, and stricter discipline. He even hired a full-time private chef and personal trainer. He came into training camp early, showed up for every practice, and according to insiders, even Pelicans staff were surprised. He looks the best we've seen him since his rookie year. In January 2025, Zion exploded. 36 points, 9 rebounds versus Sacramento, followed by 32, 31, and 34-point games. He averaged nearly 28 points for the month on 60% shooting. He was attacking off the dribble, finding shooters in the corners, and getting to the line at will, over 8 free throw attempts per game. His second-half conditioning looked improved. He logged multiple 35-plus minute games without fading. His defensive rotations were sharper. His effort on closeouts, noticeably better, and in a statement game against the Lakers on February 6th, he dropped 30 points and 8 assists on national TV, outdueling Anthony Davis and silencing critics. It wasn't just a bounce back, it was dominance. For the first time in over 2 years, he played 10 straight games without sitting out. He made another All-Star team, led the Pelicans on a 6-game win streak. Their offensive rating jumped into the top 5 league-wide. Zion was back on highlight reels, not just for dunks, but for full-court sprints, help-side blocks, and second-chance effort plays. He even recorded a career high in assists during the stretch, showing more playmaking maturity than ever before. It wasn't just flash, it was substance, and people started asking again, is this the real Zion? From viral dunks to broken dreams, Zion's story is far from over. But what do you think? Is he still a future superstar or the NBA's biggest what if? Drop your take in the comments, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.
Blocked away, but he stays.